Greetings, everyone. This is Summerset Banjo here, and I'm presenting you another preview of a podcast I was a guest of Lanceroy's Retro Reloaded. This episode was a deep dive podcast that we did on StarFox 64, which kind of served as a follow-up to the original StarFox 64 podcast that we did together. This podcast is a Patreon exclusive, so be sure to subscribe to his Patreon to see the full recording. But here is a selected section from the podcast that I thought would be great as a preview. Anyway, sit back and enjoy. And be sure to check out Lanceroy's other podcast content and his Patreon.
All right. So I really wanted to, we're about an hour and a half in, and I think there's a lot of lore to cover here. And I kind of wanted to jump into that a little bit. And so, I'm going to give you my basic understanding of StarFox, and then you're just going to go into it because there's a lot to say here. As a StarFox noob, my understanding is that there's Fox McCloud, and he has a team, and he's basically they're hired as mercenaries by the, I think it's called Corneria System Military or whatever.
Yes.
And they are basically hired to go defeat Andros, which is like, I think he's a scientist and I don't know what he is, but he's like a giant, for some reason he's a giant head at the end. And you could explain this later on.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we need you guys because you guys are the experts to go beat this guy because he's causing issues for everybody in the Lilat system, which is like a star system in that universe. So and then so they go out and they fight Starwolf and his team, which are kind of like basically the opposite of what StarFox is. StarFox is like the good guys. They're like the Starwolf guys are like the bad guys, kind of like working for the bad guys, at a basic level, Yeah. And then, and that's their antithesis. And then you go out through these worlds and you meet new people. You have different characters, like you said, Kat and Bill, which you're going to go into. And so, this is my basic understanding. So, about this story, where, I don't know where a great place to start is, but if you have an idea of where we could like kind of start with, like maybe his dad, maybe that would be a good place to start, because I feel like that's kind of like, he's not really in StarFox 64 besides a brief like memory of him. And he's, that's his father, and they don't really, from my understanding, they don't have a game about him, do they?
No, the closest that anybody, the closest, I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied. Let me start again. Okay, yes, the closest that James has ever been playable has been in StarFox Command, where you can, depending on what kind of actions you take in that particular game, you can actually unlock him as a temporarily playable character for a couple of levels in that game.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Oh, what a shame. I really wish they would have. I love prequels, man. I really do. They did it with like Metal Gear Solid, and they've done it with other games. I like the explanation of those characters' lives because you get interested in them. You're like, because he obviously had a huge influence on Fox in his whole career in everything he's done. So
yeah, I mean, Fox McCloud is basically, his whole life has basically been dictated by the shadow of his father.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you know about James?
Okay, so James McCloud. They've always kind of left a little bit of James McCloud kind of more vague, but he is the original founding member of StarFox, and he formed the team with both himself, Peppy Hare, and Pigma Dangar. They were based off of planet Papatoon, which is a planet that is 10,000 light years away from the Lilat system. And James McCloud was a very experienced pilot, and he had done prior jobs, both as a solo pilot and then later on, after he formed the mercenary team, in the Lilat system and elsewhere. And he He developed a close friendship with General Pepper and was instrumental in the apprehension and arrest of Dr. Andros after he went rogue and nearly threatened Corneria with destruction from one of his creations. Later on, James McCloud would try to expand on the StarFox team. He would basically spend a 80-year loan on the construction of what was going to be a mobile mothership called the Great Fox. And that ship was in construction when he met his untimely demise. James McCloud was also married to another fox named Vixie McCloud, and they had a son together who he named Fox. Vixie was Amura has said in interviews that he hadn't decided whether or not Vixie was a pilot herself or an engineer, but that's how that was the career that she was on when her and James met. When James McCloud died, Fox was about 14, 15, and he was already in the military academy there there on Papatoon, because he was originally thinking about making a career of himself in the Corneria military. When his father died, Fox McCloud decided to quit the academy and basically take up his father's mantle in leading the StarFox team. Fox McCloud had a falling out with his mother over that because Vixie did not want Fox to go into the mercenary business because, well, she just lost her husband and Fox lost his dad, and she didn't want to lose Fox as well in that kind of line of work. And Fox insisted that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to carry on his father's legacy. And so Vixie kind of more or less disowned Fox and made him sign a life insurance policy so she would at least have something if Fox would ever die. And then afterwards, Vixie and Fox never really saw each other after that. Fox, Fox then formed a new StarFox team made up of Falco and Slippy, who were both classmates at the academy. And he also basically asked Peppy to join up with the new StarFox team he was forming because, well, Peppy is kind of one of the few father figures he has left in his life, and, well, he needs somebody with actual experience. Bill, who was another classmate and was Fox's roommate, basically wanted to join the StarFox team as well, but and this never really made sense to me in the backstory, but Fox essentially told Bill no, and that he should focus on his career and finish up to get a job as a pilot in the Corneria military. I don't know why. He just did.
Huh, okay.
So, Slippy, A-okay to be on the team. Bill, sorry, we don't have room for you.
I would have liked Bill to be on the team. I mean, I would replace Slippy. I know people like Slippy, but I mean, a lot of people hate her too. It's not a her, it's a guy. It's always, you know what, guys? I'm telling the audience this real quick. She's always going to be a girl in my mind, okay? You can't convince me otherwise. Sounds like a girl in StarFox 64. Was a girl for like the first 15 years of my life, okay? So it's a she. But no, lore-wise, it's really not. It's a he. But yeah, I would prefer to have Slippy, probably replaced by Bill. I like Bill. Bill's cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and so so Slippy, I think in universe the reason why Fox went with Slippy is because, well, Slippy is supposed to be one of Fox's best friends growing up, and also actually has a background in engineering, which is quite essential if you're going to be leading a mercenary team. So they formed the new StarFox, and so during the course of the 5-year span, Andros finally revealed himself to the Lilat system with a huge army under his belt and laid siege to Corneria. at this point, the Great Fox had been finished in construction, and so Fox McCloud ended up with this nice, shiny new mothership and crippling debt because it's 80-year debt of compound interest.
Oh, sheesh. That's horrible.
And yeah, and so so there was that, and General Pepper, he was desperate for pilots because the Cornerian army was butt kicked by this sudden and unexpected invasion that they had by Dr. Andros. And so basically, out on a limb, General Pepper got in contact with Fox McCloud and basically asked for his help. And in return for his help, he offered the StarFox team 4 prototype R-wings, that were known as R-wings. That were a prototype fighter craft that was in develop at Space Dynamics, which was a huge arms company that is run by Yarrow DePon and Slippy's father, Beltino Toad. They're the two individuals that run that company, and they had built this. They had developed this new top-of-the-line experimental firecraft, and they only had 4 finished when the war began. And so Pepper was like, hey, if you join up in this war on our side, not only will we pay you handsomely at the end, but we're also going to give you these 4 fighter craft. They're yours. We just need your help. And so Fox McCloud agreed to do that. And so that's kind of generally how the story begins for Star Fox 64. That's generally the kind of the backstory.